Hiya, and welcome back to Undefeated. The game that teaches us that... The game that teaches us that... I can't think of anything. Actually, quick fact. Is to sort of help you with your withdrawals. The following visual novels are available for iPhone. I would know. Homecoming, No More Future, and Sileo Tales of a New Dawn. Yeah. Homecoming and No More Future are on the App Store, and you'll have to sideload Sileo. And chances are, if it's on... Yeah, it's not on the App Store, you have to sideload it. Yeah, Homecoming, it's Morinatsu. Homecoming is the Morinatsu remake. Anyways, let's just hop right in before I completely forget what I'm here to do. Everything alright, Redline? He jumps, his ears straightening out, then folding down. Oh, hey man, yeah, I'm alright, just had a run-in with Bruce. Ew, did he say anything? No, he just asked me if the immersion chamber was free. He seemed upset. Doesn't he always look upset? We start walking up the back staircase. Nah, he usually looks pretty angry. He's got resting beast face. This was more bummed? I don't know, it's hard to read him sometimes. What are you doing up this late? I couldn't sleep, had a hell of a day. You? Same, yeah. I think I'm ready for bed. So, Bruce didn't say anything about me. Nope, just grumbled what I think was a thank you. Why? I rant to Redline about everything that happened in the gym. He seems confused. Wait, so he apologized? Yeah, can you believe it? I mean, honestly, kind of. We both stared at each other for a second. You're not serious. I mean, yeah, he's kind of an asshole, but like, I don't know, man. He was always nice to me whenever we got a chance to talk. It was shitty of him to do what he did in the cafeteria. I raised an eyebrow. And I mean, everything else too. I was kind of hoping that was all just random outbursts. So I'm supposed to forgive him because he's been nice to you a few times. No, of course not. Just like, I don't know, man. Sounds like he's not happy either. Maybe he's not your enemy in all this. Sure, the guy beating the shit out of me isn't my enemy. I lay down on my bed and roll over. That's not... Good night, Redline. He's quiet for a few seconds, then he flicks the light switch. The room goes dark. Night, Xander. Wow, we are an absolute ass to Redline. We are being an absolute ass to him. Will we please get to a point where we are not an ass to Redline? Because it is genuinely breaking my heart that we are being an asshole to Redline. Xander, you absolute piece of human garbage. No, piece of deer garbage. Oh, thank all who is holy cats, thank you. Today felt like one absurdly long dream. The kind that you wake up and feel like it all happened. And it takes some convincing for you to believe it was all fake. Oh, yes, but I think my body is ready to give out from exhaustion. Early morning practices are normally fun, but I'm not exactly allowed to participate. Well, with my ribs and all. I actually managed to sleep well, for all 4 hours I managed to get. But still exhausted, it's hard to explain. For the first time in a while, I feel a little lighter. It also helps that I don't have to exercise. These cardio drills are killer. Bucky's having him focus on speed and conditioning today. Come on, boys, I want to see you sweat. If your shirts don't look like you just got back from a swim, we aren't finished. Let's move. It's like bastards enjoying this. I'm seated up on the countertop watching the rest of the men get tortured. Good cardio is one of the most important tools to have in any sport. But especially in MMA, our bodies are moving at high intensity for potentially long periods of time. Sometimes if two fighters have equal strength and skill sets, it can come down to whoever has better conditioning. If you get exhausted too easily, you'll slip up and get caught out. One mistake is all it takes sometimes. I can't afford to make those kinds of mistakes. None of us can, of course. Can't exactly remember a time when my cardio was terrible. With how much Bucky makes us sweat, anyone would think we're just horribly out of shape. Right now there's 10 guys, Redline and a bunch of people that I assume are his friends, each had a different piece of equipment. They use it at high intensity, and after half a minute or so, they all rotate to a different workout. Bucky gives them a single-minute break every 20 or 30 minutes. It's hard to keep track, but after a couple of sets of that, he's finally given them a few more minutes of rest. Redline slides down the wall away from his friends. He is oddly quiet today, but he's panting like a dog, so maybe he's just as exhausted as the rest of the others. He Damn it! Damn it! Guggle! Fuck! Fuck! Damn it! Damn it! Fuck! Why? I know! Apparently I unlearned how to speak English. Yes, guggle. He guzzles down a load of water. Silent, save for the huffing and puffing. Don't go getting too comfy, boys. 2 minutes and we're playing Bucky Says. Damn it. A collective groan from the other guys, but both Redline and I catch each other's glances. He looks over to the group of his friends, then back to Bucky. Normally he'd ask me if he can work out with his friends, but today it seems he doesn't have any choice. I'm not able to train today, Red, but you know you don't have to ask for permission to train with your friends. Redline looks down and shakes his head. He swallows. Bucky, can I, never mind, sorry. Sorry? What's up? Nothing. His friends all laugh out at some joke, and Redline looks away. Alright. Party fiddleheads. What? Bucky Says is a game Bucky makes us play to practice combinations. I think it's supposed to be like Simon Says, but he never actually says Bucky Says, so we just do whatever he tells us. We each get paired up with someone and we all put on our gloves. Bucky calls out a combination of punches and one person has to mimic that, while the other person catches the punches against their gloves. We take turns throwing and blocking with each combo. I had forgotten. Thank you, Amethyst. Thank you. It's genuinely good practice, but Bucky has to keep reminding people that this is meant to exercise our speed and muscle memory, not power. That doesn't seem to stop people from swinging hard. Whatever, I don't stoop to that level. Redline really seems to be on the receiving end for a lot of it, honestly, but I can tell he prioritizes speed over power, at least in training. They gear up and Redline finds a training partner, some Lynx guy. He's got insane reach. I thought I recognized him from the group of guys that Redline hangs out with, but right now, he's barely even looking at the cat. Mickey? Something like that. Alright, you boys ready? The rest of them let out an exhausted yell, but Redline just huffs and readies his stance. Sorry, did you want to go first? Hiya. He speaks out just loud enough for me to parse. Almost like he's embarrassed to be heard. Mucky just grunts. He looks bored. His hands come up as though he's holding training pads, and Bucky yells out the first combination. Ready? 1, 2. Each number corresponds with a specific strike. 1 is a jab and 2 is a straight. Very basic beginner combo. Redline straps his jab. Redline snaps his jab out toward his right, then is straight toward Mickey's left. Easy enough. One, two! 2 jabs in a straight. Mickey sends out a jab once against Redline's glove, and then again. But Redline's glove moved and his other hand moving up, as if to catch a straight. There's a split-second pause, and he sends a straight out for Redline's other glove. Dude! Redline notices his mistake and shakes himself awake. Sorry! Yes, I did. Mickey just grunts and readies his hands for the next combo. 1, 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2! What the fuck? Jab, jab, rear hook, lead uppercut, straight, lead hook, lead uppercut, straight? What? That's a lot right out of the gate. Bucky's got a mean grin on his face. Redline nods and steps up. What the fuck is that? Hang on. Hang on. I will be right back. And I'm back. Bucky's got a mean grin on his face. Redline nods and steps up. He jabs, hooks, hesitates, then jabs again and pauses. Sorry, rest of the guys are finishing their combos, but Mickey has to shake his glove and remind him of what the next strike in the series is. Takes some doing, but after some slow thinking, he finishes the combo and drops his gloves, letting out a sigh. 1, 2, 5, 2, 3, 6! Okay, a little bit less confusing. Jab, straight, lead, uppercut, straight, lead, hook, right, rear, uppercut. Redline's hands come up, ready to catch the cat's punches. Sends his jab, straight, uppercut. Redline wasn't ready for a straight punch, and his head moved unexpectedly into the path of Mickey's glove. He steps back, shaken. Come on! No, He rubs his nose, chest starting to heave faster. He's breathing a bit too fast, even though we've lowered the intensity from the training earlier. He looks to his friends, laughing, and then to Bucky. The kangaroo's aggressive expression lightens as he sees Redline. Alright, Red. Redline backs up away from the rest of the guys and starts shuffling towards the door. Sorry, I have to go, sorry. What's up? The rest of the fighters are too busy laughing amongst themselves at something else, so no one really catches this scene besides me, Mickey, and Bucky. Redline sheds his gloves and exits, trotting off down the hall. Mickey just sighs and looks at us, almost annoyed. Did you hit him hard? I tried not to, he moved into the glove. Shadow box for the rest of the exercise. Blinks rolls his eyes and starts his exercise. Bucky turns to me and drops his voice. What the hell was that? No clue, he messed up a few times, but I don't think it was a big deal. Didn't look like that hard of a punch either. Nah, someone could knock him out and he still wouldn't freak out like that. Something's up. You heard anything going on? Start to speak up, but I'm drowned out by the sounds of Redline's friends laughing way too loudly as one of them got knocked down. He hasn't said anything. I don't like that. Can you keep an eye out for him? Bucky moves past me to help out the guy that just got knocked down. Practice ended and I couldn't find Redline, even in our room. Eventually caught him eating dinner later that night, but he acted like nothing happened. A few more weeks passed by without much going on. Training, eating, sleeping, the good stuff, I suppose. Haven't really run into Bruce since that encounter that night. And Redline is a little bit more sparse than usual. I see his friends wandering around without him. Maybe they all got fed up with how much he talks too. Doesn't matter, I need to get ready for my next fight. Matchmaking day came and went with a no-show from Bruce. Just like last time. I've been training for near a month now, after getting the okay from Drayden under supervision of Coach Bucky, and the fight's coming up soon. But first, the hardest challenge I've had to face since coming down here. Are you ready to go? Please don't make me do this. It's going to be fine. I feel sick. Jesus, Xander, it's a retirement party, not a funeral. I'm sorry? I'm sorry? Right, a retirement party. They throw these for every big-name fighter that gets released from Fang. Missed the last, well, all of them, so I'm making you come. Doctor's orders. Drayden told you to make me go to the beach and get drunk with your friends? Drayden said exactly those words, yes. Should I call him and double check? I don't think he'd appreciate being interrupted from his important doctor work, so maybe just leave the phone in the bedroom, alright? It's a party! We get to socialize! I'm not necessarily adverse to parties, but I prefer when I know the people I'm going to be seeing there. I don't even know who's retiring. Going to have fun, I promise. Let's go. Is that all you're wearing? Redline rolls his eyes. Duh, dude. It's a beach party. Everyone's gonna go swimming. I don't know, man. I feel like most people are gonna bring a shirt at least. Sounds like you've never gone to a beach party before. You know, Red, I can't say I have. Never really had the chance in a landlocked state, but I don't think I was missing much. I'd much rather be on land where I can't get drifted out to sea. Red seems pumped. It's the most excited I've seen him in weeks. The whole walk down, he's been rambling about family vacations to the beach. They had this giant balloon thing and a really tall tower, and then one guy sat on one end of the balloon and the other guy jumped off the tower onto it, and then the guy on the balloon just flew up into the air. They called it the Pudge. Eve jumped for me, and I flew like 30 feet high. That sounds excruciatingly painful. It was! Slapped the fur clean off my chest. He says that with a grin. We open the door to the immersion chamber and step inside. A few guys are standing around at tables, with some more down on the beach. Fang employees wander around, helping to get everything set up. There's a large banner across the top of the drinking bar reading, "Farewell, Ryan!" along with photos of a lizard man in various intimidating poses. Ryan, the guy in Bucky's class that I helped coach a few weeks back, he shoved and threatened me. I can see Redline's face tightens up. That's... How you feeling? I think I'm going to throw up. That's the spirit, let's get you some alcohol. I don't really know if alcohol is the answer right now, or even if it should be the answer to anything. Redline seems pretty stoked about it. Red drags me up onto the bar and orders something expensive sounding. The bartender asks what I'll have. Can I get, lemonade? Boo! You guys nearby that overheard it and also start to boo me. I can feel my neck get hot. Come on, dude, you need to loosen up. At least grab a beer. I can do that without alcohol. You've had your chance to loosen up without alcohol since you came down here. I'm starting to think you're lying to me. I roll my eyes. I don't want to drink. Come on, Zan. Stop. I turn back to the bartender to give my order again, but he's already got me a glass of lemonade ready to go. Oh, thanks. The two of us wander back to an empty table, with Redline stopping to greet some guys every few seconds. Half of them barely grunt a response back. At least the view from the table is nice. The sun is still pretty high in the sky, so people are mulling about. Seems like everyone's in good spirits. A bunch of people are swimming, a lot more just standing around, drinking and talking. I spot a few huge dudes playing volleyball down on the sand. One guy sets the ball, it goes up. A big dude spikes the ball into someone else's face, hard enough to send the guy stumbling back. The ball bounces back onto the spiker's side of the net and hits the ground. The entire other team, including the gentleman on the ground, cheers loudly. Checking out the eye candy. The what? Redline giggles and takes another sip of his drink. You know, the babes, the hunks, the smoking hot. Another sip. The men. Hot. Redline trips over his words a lot, so this is nothing new. I shrug. They're alright, I guess. I'd be lying if I didn't Damn it! I'd be lying if I didn't at least admit some of these men were, at a base physical level, incredibly attractive. I'm not very picky about sizes or appearance. When it comes to personality, it's a fucking desert. Guys down here are either mean, dumb, or both. Redline nudges me a bit too rough. Come on, big guy. Sure, what's the matter? Surely one of these guys has your eye. It's like a fucking chalk. Chartreuse board. Charcuterie board? Yeah, that. The smorgasbord. It's one of those, both men. There's a lot of them. I think he meant smorgasbord. I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of hot guys here. Redline makes some ooh sound like we're in 4th grade talking about girls. I roll my eyes. What about you? The hyena takes a long sip and slams his empty glass down with a big satisfied grin. Oh, buddy. This is an all-you-can-eat buffet and I'm looking to get my money's worth. What does that mean? Maybe bring a bit home in a doggy bag, too. What does that mean? Redline just giggles, the hyena trait showing itself clear as day. Let's just say that room was occupied quite a bit before you showed up, buddy. Gross. Redline laughs, loud enough to get the attention of a nearby table. I motion my hands to try and keep him quiet. Shut up, man. I washed the sheets before you came. And I'm not reading that. Stop! Another laugh, this one much higher pitched and louder than the one before. Redline goes to grab another drink. When he returns, he starts very loudly pointing out the men he slept with, loudly naming them off and giving probably way too many details about his encounters. So, you can remember all these guys' names and how big their dicks are, but you can't remember smorgasbord. He takes another long sip, trying not to spill it as he giggles. You never forget the important details, Xander. Who cares about some dumb French word when there's men to please? I guess he's got me there. There's probably some more value in that somewhere, I'm sure, and Redline seems happy. His tail's been going a mile a minute since he started drinking. I'm gonna head down to the shore. Have fun. Redline grabs my arm and starts to tug. You misunderstood, dummy. You're coming with me. He's not pulling very hard, so I don't resist much, planted firmly in my chair. I'll just sit up here and watch. Come on, if you won't drink alcohol, you at least gotta drink some seawater. That sounds like a worse idea. It's not even seawater. It's chlorinated. That's basically the same thing. Yeah, kid. Quit being a party pooper. I stumble back, some sort of survival instinct kicking in to help create distance. Bruce just snorts some hot air out. Easy, kid, it's a party. No one's gonna bite your head off. You couldn't if you tried. Bruce scruffs Redline and flashes a big toothy grin, their snouts nearly touching. You wanna bet on that furball? Redline just lets out a squeaky growl and Bruce sets him down, his big sharp claws ruffling Redline's hair. Didn't know you two knew Ryan. We've, met. Bruce's face sours. Doesn't sound like it was a good impression. He tried to kill Xander. Well, no, but he did shove me. Bucky put a stop to him quick. Bruce lets out a sigh, his claws now scritching behind Redline's ear. I can see his tail wag as he sips from his drink. Yeah, that sounds about right. Here he plays rough in training. It's like the guy doesn't have an off switch. But you haven't seen it in action? You really think anyone outside of the heavyweights wants to spar with me? He can try to be a tough guy with me all he wants. Just then the door opens and a bunch of men cheer, hooting and hollering Ryan's name. Sure enough, he showed up with a couple of friends. It looks like he's in good spirits. Someone hands him a plastic cup filled with what I assume to be alcohol, and someone else cranks the music up. Redline scampers off to mingle with anyone that will listen. I'm not sure what's worse, tagging along with him or being alone with Bruce. The big guy just glares down at me, eyes occasionally drifting to some other partygoers. Seems particularly keen on Ryan, but his eyes always return to me. So, yeah? I take a sip from my cup. What you drinking? Lemonade. You? He shimmies his cup in his hand. Just some water. Not much for alcohol these days. Attaboy, Bruce. Hydration is key, just like I taught you. Hold up. Respectfully. I am disrespectfully staring in a disrespectful manner. Respectfully, there is absolutely nothing respectful about the amount of staring that I'm doing. Respectfully. Bucky strolls on in with Redline. I'm gonna try that again. Bucky strolls on in with Drayden trailing behind. It's weird not seeing either of them in their respective uniforms. Bruce just grumbles. I never had you as a coach. Yeah, I would have worked you to the bone if you did. He rolls his eyes and takes another swig of his water. It's good to see you two. I didn't think staff would show up. What, I missed out on all the fun? I always like seeing my fighters off, even the troublemakers. I don't know why I tussled my hair on that line. Luckily, my antler nubs made it a little harder for that. And Drayden, you never really seemed like the party type. Hey now, I can be fun, though Bucky did offer to go with me. I treated Ryan a bit back when I first started. He's been in the medbay pretty frequently, believe it or not. I can believe it. The guy fights like an animal. He's been in more fights than a lot of the men down here, and his hospital records prove it. Seems he had some rough coaching too. He'd end up there after sparring. Both Drayden and Bruce take a drink, glaring at Bucky. Hey, don't look at me. I didn't get him till a few weeks ago. I don't let that shit fly in my classes, at least not to the head. Ab training is fair game. Don't tempt me. Still owe me a few punches payback. Bucky laughs nervously, then clears his throat. He just got more and more rowdy. Too much for the other coaches to handle, apparently, so they sent him my way. Usually good with the handfuls, I mean, look at Red. They all glance down to the hyena on the beach, who is trying and failing to wrestle down a large tiger man. The man then proceeds to slam his fist into Redline's body, kicking up a sizable amount of sand around his body. Redline lets out a high-pitched wheeze followed by some energetic giggles. But they seem to be having a good time. Ryan's standing next to them, sipping a drink. He doesn't look like he's as happy as he was earlier, though. What a handful indeed. Someone ought to keep that thing on a leash. Yeah, come on, guys. It's not that bad. I wasn't insulting him. Ooh, incoming. Well, I mean, the 4 options are here. Redline staggers up, just absolutely coated in either sweat or ocean water. He's still giggling, and his abs are as red as the blush on his face. Guys, hang on. Hi, Buck, and hi, Doctor. It's hard for him to get a word in between his heavy panting and giggling. I'm gonna be right back. Ryan's in a bad mood, so I thought of something that'll cheer him up. And without waiting for a response, the little guy sprints off out the door, the wet pitter-patter of his paws trailing away. I've never seen him this energetic. Have you met the guy? He's on some kind of high all the time. Only a few times, but even then, he's at least a little more mellowed out. He does loosen up a lot at parties. Not that the rest of you ever show. I find ways to keep his trap shut while he's working out. Hard to keep chattering when you can barely breathe. Just as long as you... Oh, good lord! Oh. A beach volleyball player from earlier strolls by. His muzzle held up in the air. His paws keep it pinched shut, but blood is still coming out. Hey, bud. Are you alright? Don't do that. Drayden leans the dog forward and he says something garbled by the blood on his snout. The doctor huffs and leads him toward the door. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Come here, I'll get you taken care of. Why do you have a watermelon, Redline? As Drayden reaches the exit, the door slams open with Redline waddling back in, holding a watermelon. Let's smash some melons! The crowd goes silent, mostly from the shock of the door slamming open and Redline yelling. But after a few seconds, someone speaks up. But you only have one melon. I only have one! But it'll be fun! Redline drags a crowd of people down to the shore, splaying out a beach towel and setting the watermelon in the center. It's about the size and shape of a medicine ball. Why is it all round? Shouldn't they be like an egg shape? You're like an egg shape. Bruce's expression scrunches up as Redline drags Ryan into the circle of the people. Lizard's holding a different cup of alcohol, and judging by the steadiness of his stance, he seems to be pretty hammered. Hey, quit grabbing me. Come on, dude, it'll be fun. It's just like in my favorite anime where I don't want to play your fucking dumb bullshit. The lizard tugs his arm back and storms off, chugging the rest of the contents of his cup. Redline just lets out a giggle and wanders over to a chair. He pulls out a wooden baseball bat from underneath. Where the fuck did you get a baseball bat from? Who wants first swing? If anyone can speak up, Redline stumbles back into the circle, raising the bat over his head and slamming it down onto the watermelon. Makes a dull thud, but ultimately does not move. The crowd seems a little confused, and the more people that join the circle, the less people seem to understand. Xander! All eyes turn to me. My ears flip down as Red marches in my direction, swinging the bat lazily from side to side. Are you picking any of this up? Kinda. Should he be swinging that around like that? It's your turn. Redline yanks me into the center, wrapping a piece of cloth over my eyes and starts turning me in place. Do I get a say in this? Shut up, Zan. It's solstice. Yeah, shut up. It's solstice. Solstice isn't for like 4 more months and... Hey, can you chill with the spinning? Redline giggles and spins me a few more times until I'm genuinely, thoroughly dizzy. He shoves the bat into my hands and with enough force to almost knock me over. Now swing. At the melon! At the melon! I can't see it. Go forward 4 steps and swing. No, you'll hit me! I really don't know if I believe either of you. Go forward 5 steps and then swing. And I definitely don't believe you. That gets a chuckle from both of them. The crowd actually seems into it now. Talking amongst themselves or laughing as I stumble around. A few of them shout out commands which way I need to go and when to swing. There are a lot of conflicting commands. Redline giving out some more of the consistent ones. So I find myself relying mostly on him. If I can piece him out from under the crowd. Okay, now. Now? No! Now, I guess. I raise the bat over my head and slam it down directly in front of me. Whenever I hit, it doesn't feel like a melon. I swipe... I swipe the blindfold off and see the bat pressed firmly against the towel next to the melon. The crowd makes some sounds of lighthearted disappointment, but Redline stumbles forward, giggling about how close I was. Swipes the bat from my hands and starts swinging it wildly over his head. Who's next? Who wants to go next? I got it. Come here, runt. Redline's ears fold and his tail flickers, but he's smiling bigger than ever as Bruce steps forward and snatches the bat from Redline's weak grasp. Hey, you gotta spin around first. Spin around? Yeah, like a piñata, and you get more points if it's a clean break. Yeah, alright, sure, let's spin you around. Bruce gives a dark grin as he starts spinning Redline in place. Dean starts to protest, but after a few turns, he stumbles off to the side and gets caught by a crowd member, giggling like a drunk idiot. So I just gotta break the melon. Bruce steps up to the plate, twisting the bat in his grip. He's got an evil look in his eyes. Wait, you gotta spin too. Redline protests, but he's giggling the whole time. Bruce rolls his eyes and twirls in one place on one foot. There, I spun too. And after we spin around, we smash the melon. In a single deft motion, the baseball bat streaks through the air like a bolt of brown lightning striking down on a collision course with the watermelon. The crowd stands in stunned silence, seeing the baseball bat split in two over the watermelon. The broken half flies off to the side, pitching itself into the sand next to my feet. Bruce, too, manages to express shock, anger, concern, confusion all at once. He tosses the other half of the bat to the side. Redline, on the other hand, is howling with laughter. What the hell, Red? The champ reaches down to grab the melon, but his hands slip when he tries to lift it. He reaches again, clutching it from below and scowling as he stands up with the melon cradled to his chest. What the fuck is this thing made of? What's so goddamn slimy? Bruce drops the melon and thumps into the sand. A distinct green streak runs up Bruce's forearms and hands. The same color as the melon. The melon, on the other hand, seems to have leaked its color all over the dino's scales. Redline once again howls laughing. Bucky moves forward and wipes Melon clean with the towel it was sat on before. Red, this is just one of Drayden's medicine balls. Painted green. Where else was I supposed to get a watermelon down here? What the hell is wrong with you? It looked like fun! Crowd just sort of dissipates, some of them laughing, some of them seemingly disappointed that there was no watermelon. Bucky hands Bruce the towel to wipe the paint off. Did Drayden give you permission to paint his equipment? Redline just laughs harder and tries to wink, closing both eyes separately before scooping the medicine ball up. It'll be our little secret. You guys up for some volleyball with this thing? Fuck, I'm dying. Sure, I'll spike it into your face. You wanna join that other guy with Drayden? Except I'm not really dying. Even more snickers from the Yin as he scampers back up to the rest of the party.
It's time to drink
water. The three of us follow behind. Bruce lets out a sigh.
It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water.
Actually, watermelon sounds really
It's time
good.
to drink water.
Was really looking forward to that melon. Can't you just go up topside and get one on one of your days off? Probably got plenty of vacation days from beating my ass. The dino stops in his tracks, silent for a moment. He starts to say something, and then Bucky chimes in. Oh yeah, you boys got your fight coming up. You nervous? I don't know how to answer that. Obviously, it feels weird to admit that when Bruce is standing right here. Bruce is also silent, now walking closer behind us. He inhales like he's about to say something, but ultimately breathes out defeated. Yeah, he's that nervous, huh? Makes sense that a big lug like you would be scared of my pride and joy. Bruce lets out a quiet sigh as we reach the top of the ramp up to where the rest of the partygoers are. Yeah. The party goes on for a bit, the music getting louder the later the night goes on. Someone dims the lights, or the sky? Turns to nighttime eventually, but people are still raring to go. Even Ryan looks like he's having a nice time. Redline managed to convince people, Bruce included, to play Spin the Bottle. Well, his modified version of it. Whoever the bottle lands on has to say truth or punch, where you have to tell the truth or get punched in the gut. Most of the guys picked punch on their first turn, then truth after. Once they got a hard question, they just went back to punching each other. Seems alcohol really gets these guys fired up. Drayden finally returns with the volleyball victim. Poor guy's muzzle had to get bandaged up before he can get back to jamming out with his friends. With his buds. He and Bucky actually just wandered off to go for a little walk on the beach. I find it hard to drown out the pounding of the music, even if my party anxiety is boiled down to a simmer. Staring out into the ocean helps keep me calm. Wish I came here more often. It's probably the closest I'll get to a beach vacation at this rate. Hey. Bruce approaches from the side about 6 or 7 feet away, his back against the wall lining this patio looking out over the beach. Hey. He responds in silence, a breath inhales, then a pause, and a slow exhale. Enjoying the party. I can barely hear him under all the music. Not really my thing. Bruce grunts under his breath and sips a bit from his cup. When's the next weigh-in? Don't need one. Don't need one? Nah. Any particular reason? They don't tell me everything. You know as much as I do. When were they planning on telling me? Again, no clue. All Ted told me is that they don't need any more pictures. Took enough pics and videos of our fight to get whatever marketing bullshit they need. So we don't have to do the weigh-ins anymore. Oh. Sorry. He grumbles. Don't God apologize to me. Never liked doing those fucking things anyway. Bruce turns his head to a cluster of people. At least Red is enjoying himself. He does that a lot. Yeah, he talks a lot too. You don't gotta remind me. I managed to get a chuckle from Bruce. Yeah, he talks a lot about his friends. Says a lot of nice stuff about you too. And I bet he'd be nice to you even if you weren't, and if you're as mean as you think you are. So, you know. Maybe you can chill the fuck out, yeah? Okay. Our eyes meet for a split second, then he turns away. Why are you telling me all this? I don't know, you seemed pretty worried about it a while back, after the haircut and all. After the haircut? The trim? I remember getting really high from the meds and someone carried me to my room, but that... Wait. What are you... Attention, everybody! It's Ryan's birthday! Music dims down as everyone turns to Redline. Ryan is laughing uncomfortably as people start to cheer and wish him a happy birthday. Dude, it's not my birthday, you're drunk. No, you're fucking hammered, dude. They start to stammer about who's more drunk. Bruce and I wander up to the crowd, if only to observe Red being a giggling mess. Alright, everyone, shut up. It's not my birthday. He yells the words with some deadly serious conviction, but goes back to smiling after. Chill creeps up my spine. Yeah, easy, dude. If it's not your birthday, then why are we celebrating? Lizard sort of scowls and chugs his couple Redline rambles. 'Cause I know you. You don't quit. What the hell are you talking about? A big grin spreads across Redline's face. Come on, you know I get around. I know that you got fired. The crowd's rambles drop to a whisper. All eyes on the hyena. You got fired because you're so mean. And you beat everyone up in the gym. But I don't think you're mean. You're a lizard, man. You've got that tough skin. There's some kind of snake? Either way, it's a fun party. Are you gonna celebrate when you leave or get some stupid shitty job where everyone forgets who you are? Your friends are all down here living their dream, and your family doesn't want anything to do with you. What the hell is someone like you supposed to do? Maybe you can start your own gym and have them all beat each other too. Ryan's fist crashes into Redline's muzzle, forcing him backwards as everyone around springs into action. Those are the two drunk, angry men try to engage, whether it's to defuse or swing on instinct. Someone catches Redline and Bruce immediately charges into the fray. The dino grabs Ryan, pulling him into a chokehold and holding him away from Redline. Everyone cool the fuck down! Whatever yelling, moving, fighting had broke out stops instantly. Bruce's booming voice silenced the crowd, save for one thing. Redline, propped up in someone's arms, giggling like a hyena. Ryan tries to struggle, swinging at Bruce's arms, but I can tell his chokehold is firm. Lizard starts to resist less and less as seconds pass. I'm cool. He taps out, desperately slapping against Bruce's bicep to signify he's submitted. Bruce doesn't budge, dragging Ryan off to one side behind the crowd. Everyone else starts to mull around, the crowd dissipating. What the hell is going on? Bucky charges in, first to the giggling Redline, then over to Bruce and Ryan. I can hear him shouting something, drowned out by the music. An exhausted Drayden comes jogging up shortly after, and he is considerably out of breath. The doctor immediately rushes to Redline, who gets passed off into Drayden's arms. Xander, can you give me a hand? I don't like hearing the panic in his voice. I too follow up, and after some awkward positioning, we manage to get Redline lifted up onto my back. Drayden leads the way, marching straight out of the immersion chamber. It's a long, silent walk from the beach to the medbay. Silent, save for Redline's constant, incessant giggling. I'm almost scared. I know hyenas laughed a lot, but this doesn't feel natural. He sounds nervous. Scared. Weird to think that just a few weeks ago I was in a similar position, getting carried away by Redline after the whole bench press incident. Maybe this is how he felt. Maybe he didn't carry me away out of pity. Maybe he was just scared for me. But soon enough, we make it to an empty room, and I manage to deposit the giggling Yeen into a bed. Keep him there. I need to go grab something to stop the bleeding. The doctor leaves, and I'm left alone with Redline, still going, laughing like a car engine turning over, and over, and over, and over again. A paw reaches out to me. Let it fall flat, and it reaches out again. For the first time since the punch, Redline looks at me. He's crying. I've seen him cry from laughter before, but this isn't the same. I'm not sure what comes over me. His desperate attempts to pull me closer, to grab me, to have me near him. I step closer and Redline yanks into me, his arms locking behind me. I do the same. His laughter falters for a second, only getting louder as his muzzle rests on my shoulder. He swallows and he laughs. The laughter chokes, and he cries. Redline clutches me, his full weight pressing into my body as he folds forward, and he sobs. I'm so sorry, I fucked it up again! Again? Every few sobs, he slips back into laughter only to cling to me tighter. Sorry! I'm sorry! I don't know why I keep doing this! I tense my arms a bit, completing the hug. This only manages to make him sob harder. It's okay. You'll be okay. My hand rubs up and down his backside gently. For a few moments, his sobs are heavy, weary, exhausted. A few seconds pass, though, and he starts to calm down. Cries reduced to sniffles and the occasional drunk hiccup. After a moment, Drayden comes back with a roll of gauze. I pull away, leaving Redline in his drunken arms to fall flat. He almost falls forward, too, but Drayden catches him and holds him in place. Sorry! Drayden bundles up a bit of gauze and holds it over the bleeding nose. It's okay, Red. Sorry! It's alright. You're okay. I need you to stay awake for me, okay? Yes, sir. Sorry. Shh. You're alright. His voice is so warm and soft, like a father comforting a child. Xander, could you please wait in my office? It's down the hall, last door on the right. I don't need to question him. I make my way out and head into the
emotional damage.
Looks identical to any of the other examining rooms I've been in. I'm starting to wonder if he just claimed this one as his office. After a few moments pass, Drayden strolls in and shuts the door behind him. Sorry about that, Xander. Are you feeling alright? I'm fine, just a bit shaken up. How's Redline? He drops down in his seat. Nosebleed, but nothing broken, thankfully. He'll be alright. Right. I take a beat. I'm not sure how to address this. And the crying? Right, you saw that. It's, Just then, the door creaks open, and a familiar kangaroo peeks his head in. He darts to Drayden, then notices and smiles at me. Hey, I've got company. I can come back later. No, it's fine. How are things? Bucky steps in and closes the door quietly behind him. He sets a large medicine ball, roughly the size and shape of a spherical watermelon, on the examining table. And where did you get that? One of the great mysteries of our world, Drayden dear. We got Ryan sorted for the most part. Security got called to take him back up to his room. Bruce is clearing out the party. Wanted to check in on Red, but the lights were off, so, Drayden sighs and leans back in his chair. Bruce just stands there awkwardly. Bucky just stands there awkwardly, both of them silent for a moment. Is this something that happens often? The punching? No, not with Redline at least. The drinking? Yeah. Redline drinks? Yeah, you probably don't see it too much since alcohol isn't allowed outside of parties. Never really know how to approach him about it either, since you Tier 1 fighters aren't normally even allowed at the parties. Is he an alcoholic? Wait. Is he an alcoholic? Drayden and Bucky both avert their eyes. It's hard to say. If he had unrestricted access to alcohol, it's a possibility. At the very least, he cuts loose a bit too hard. At this point, it's a pattern. It's not a pattern I like seeing or hearing about. I don't really go to the parties either, so... It's been weeks since he called me Buck, well, aside from the party. But he's pretty wasted, so I didn't count that. I've seen him alone more than often than not these days. Normally he's got his group of friends buzzing around, but lately not so much. But I know when there's a party, he goes wild. Big guy like Bruce could handle 4 or 5 big drinks in one night, no problem. But Red's about a third of his weight, and he's downing 6 or 7. I feel like he's overcompensating. He's way more lively at these parties than he has been in the last month. Pair that drinking with his anxiety and depression, and he clears his throat and looks to Bucky. But there's still something we need to talk to him about, so... Anxiety. Drayden looks like he said something he shouldn't have. Whatever happens, we all know Ryan was out of line. Security's taking care of him, and he'll be out of the facility for good tomorrow. What Redline said. Was that true about Ryan getting fired? Bucky sighs and looks away. Yeah, he was spot on with that. After what he did to you in my class, we had that little chat, where he went on to threaten me and a few other folks. Put up with a lot of that bullshit down here, but threatening staff is a major no-go. Managed to get in touch with the commissioner, and they went ahead and cut Ryan off completely. I don't get it. He wasn't this bad when he started. After a dozen years, I don't know. Guess it'll do shit to ya. It could be a case of CT or chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Encephalopathy. Bucky nods, but I think Drayden can see my blank expression. Drayden leaning forward dejectedly as he continues. I mean, I'm sure you boys know a thing or two about it. It's a degenerative brain disorder caused by trauma to the skull. Take too many hits to the head and your brain tissue starts folding more and more. Over the years, they just stop working right. Jesus. Knew head injuries were a serious thing, but hearing it described like that, it's scary. Ryan's been to the medbay more often than most fighters, and he's been down here longer than most too. Sounds like the perfect combination for CTE. Is there any way to know for sure? The doctor sighs. No. There's no way of knowing for sure until people can examine his brain, and that requires an autopsy. But the mood swings, the violent tendencies, I don't know. Seems like the textbook definition. Too many coaches down here don't give a shit about this kind of thing. Full contract sparring, this stupid focus on being manly and toughing out injuries. Bucky clenches his fists. They encourage this shit, it makes me fucking sick! So, what can he do? Nothing. I mean, best we can do is make him aware of it and, I don't know, offer some support system? Bucky scoffs. Now Fang is gonna give him the time of day once they can't milk his concussions for money anymore. Just another body to throw on the fire to keep the lights on. And pay for the commissioner's fucking vacation homes. The three of us are silent for a long time, save for the buzzing of the fluorescent lights above us. I don't know what to say. I don't even know if I want to say anything. Redline's in the next room over, sleeping the alcohol off. I hope he's sleeping well. Another week passes, another fight night. This one feels like it's arrived much sooner than the last. Even though it's only my third fight, I feel like not doing the weigh-in or any sort of promotional lead up to the fight. Before I joined Fang, they took a bunch of pictures and videos of me to use for marketing, and their PR people handle everything. So let's focus on nothing but the fight. It lets us focus on nothing but the fight. At least I don't have to deal with any sort of press, or God forbid, Bruce. How you feeling? Nervous. Alright, aside from that. Kinda cold, I guess. It is pretty chilly down here, yeah. The party last week sent a bit of a ripple through the facility. Some people knew Ryan more than others, but everyone heard what happened to Redline. He was around for a day or two after, but I've been pretty much alone since then. Redline's barely shown his hide. I don't blame him, that must have been pretty embarrassing to find out after he'd sobered up. Feels weird Bruce wasn't around as much, and Redline only really went straight to and from classes. I don't even know if he's watching my fight. Not that it really matters, I'm not feeling super confident about the fight this time around, but I probably shouldn't tell Bucky that. Fuck, it really is cold down here in these hallways. Like catacombs. Yeah, are you gonna be alright? Yeah, maybe the heat of the lights in the ring will warm me up. Or the heat of Bruce's blood on your fists. Just trying to warm you up, bud. Come on, there's a fight. Right. Zan, come here, buddy. He kneels down in front of me. It's been a heavy month. It has. But none of that is going to fuck with you on the ring. Right. Zan. What? He grips my arms tight, not hard enough to hurt, but firm enough to get my attention. What are you gonna do in there? The same as last time. Not the same, not the same! We can adapt to what Bruce did! You were so close last time, I know you can do it. We've been practicing, you've been working your ass off. He shakes me gently in his arms. You're gonna knock him the fuck out, alright? I dart my eyes away. Yeah. The kangaroo stares at me with an earnest smile, and lets out a quiet sigh. I think he knows I don't believe him either. That's the spirit, Xander! I step onto the elevator with the attendant, and Bucky stands there, silent as the doors close. Feels quieter than normal on the ride down. I haven't seen Bruce since the party, and before that since our talk in the gym that night. I feel like I fucked something up, but I don't know what. There's something missing. Maybe it's Bruce? He doesn't like the situation any more than I do. Okay, that might be a lie. He's probably a lot less scared for his life than I am. Maybe it's Redline. He's been pretty absent for a while now. It's made the room a lot quieter, but it just feels different. Feels wrong. Something is wrong, and I don't know what, and I'm scared. But I guess I have to fight now. The attendant was silent the whole way down. Guess he knows what I have to deal with. Maybe he'd feel uncomfortable speaking up. Maybe he's silent out of the respect for the dead? Who knows? The lights come up, but my chin stays down. Maybe everyone at home will think I'm meditating. Or praying. The irony of that. Maybe some god will have mercy and make this my last fight. And speak of the devil, Bruce's elevator door dings, and the man of the hour stomps out. He's also looking pretty quiet, mouth welded shut in a scowl. He raises a fist as he enters, soaking in whatever cheers the crowd at home might be giving him. Remember his walkout music was pretty cool, back when I would watch his fights. But for once he's quiet. Bruce moves to the center of the ring and scowls at me. There's a pain in his eyes. Not too chatty today, huh? No fun little quips or scathing commentary about my size, nothing? He turns his eyes away and sighs. Nah. Gotta end this quick. Got something else to take care of tonight. He's not even trying to make a show out of it. Is he bored of this? What, are you not even gonna try? The dinosaur sighs and brings his hands up to a fighting position. Let's just get this over with. It's like he's not even interested, like he thinks he's better than me. I'm out here trying not to die, doomed to a life of this bullshit, and he's just coasting through it? I don't know what comes over me, but I charge in, lunging for Bruce. Sends a punch forward as I move, but I lean to the side. Fist meets air, his thick arm only centimeters from my head. His free hand is still defending his face, and for a split second, Bruce's body is completely unprotected. My uppercut lands a deep meeting in his mark. Launches deep, meeting its mark in the center of Bruce's midsection. The dino grunts, his body leaning forward slightly and immediately straightening back out. He turtles up, crouching down with his guard covering his face and body. It's tough to move when you're postured like that, but even tougher for your opponent to get in. At this point, I've already circled around him, positioned near the center of the ring. His eyes peek out from over his gloves, taking careful steps toward me. I know his range at this point. I have to make sure he doesn't get close enough to damage me without me being able to retaliate. I have to wait until he's got an opening, then I can go in. The two of us circle each other for a bit. He's trying to hunt prey, but I won't let him. Every blow he throws, I dodge. Every step he takes, I take my own. I have to keep pace before he gets the upper hand. I can't keep turtling forever, even if he peeks out from behind his guard to throw a punch or two. I keep moving not only to evade the punches, but also to keep myself from getting cornered. Our dance comes to an end when Bruce scowls and uncurls from his guard slightly. Stop making this harder than it has to be! His speed increases and he rushes forward with two body blows to the ground. I can't move any further back, I have to stand my ground. His fists collide with my guard, crashing painfully against my elbows. You're just... Ugh! Whatever he was going to say got cut short by my fist slamming his jaw shut. The uppercut rocks his skull for a second and he looks back down at me with a scowl. So you're not... I get interrupted with my fist straight to his snout. Bruce lets out a snort, a bit of blood loosened up from his nose. Fine! His arms shoot out, wrapping around my head before I manage to circle out. I'm bent forward, my head tucked into his chin as I struggle to shove him away. I know my heels are against the back line, but if I step over them, there's no guarantee I'll be able to get back and bounce in time. I swing a hook for his body, and after tanking it with a grunt, he takes a step back, dragging me with him, but keeping his body outside my arm's reach. Sorry. He spoke under his breath loud enough for only me to hear. He's sorry for... Fuck! Bruce drives a knee up into my abs, plowing clean through any resistance I tried to give, like a battering ram bursting through my defenses. I almost feel my back bulge out as I double over his tree trunk of a thigh. Instantly, oxygen leaves my body, forced out by the champion. I still cling to his arms with some sort of hope that I can come back from this. I pull and pry with all my might until finally... Slam. A second knee cleaved into my midsection again. Can't even react before a third, then a fourth, then a fifth land in the same spot. I can feel my body breaking, every muscle giving in as the last bits of strength and defiance are slammed out through the middle of my back. Stop a bit for the ads. Want to break from the ads? Right? Like, these CGs are epic. Ha! That calm you down, motherfucker! I can still fight back, I have to. Bruce releases the clinch and I stumble forward, swinging my fist aimlessly for his body. One connects, but despite his face contorting, it doesn't stop his uppercut from clipping my jaw. It's not heavy, but strong enough to send me off balance. I can't go out, not like this. I need to cover up and regroup. I can't fight with my head swimming like this. With my guard up, I leave my body unprotected for only a second, which gives Bruce all the time in the world to follow through. In one swift motion, his leg pistons out, landing clean in the center of my abs. Pain explodes out from my center, my lungs empty, my body aching. The kick sends me seemingly soaring backwards, my feet unable to catch me while I stumble. I collapse in a heap, coming to a rest far outside the ring. Whenever this happens on TV, they play a countdown timer. The fighter has 10 seconds to get back in the ring before the fight ends. I have to move. I have to move. I need to move, please. Every ounce of my body is in agony. A single knee from Bruce would drain even a top fighter's stamina dry, and he gave me 5. Son of a bitch. I reach forward, forcing heavy breaths as I start to crawl to the ring. I'm sick of him, of his shitty attitude. He thinks he's better than me, and he's not even fucking trying. Every day, I'm giving more and more of myself to this place, and I can't even get a fucking day off. And when I get a break, it's because this fucking animal breaks me in half. I'm not going to let him coast by like this. I can't do that. I have to die like this, and I'll make him work for it, bit by bit, piece by piece. Every drop of blood I shed will stain the ground he stands on, and I'm going to make him regret it just as much as I do. And I'm going to make him scared of me, as I am of him. Managed to crawl to the ring's edge. I don't know how long it's been. Everything hurts. It all hurts so much. Shouldn't be able to pick myself up, and yet lift up on one knee and I turn my head up. Bruce is looking down at me. He's not mad. He's not smiling. He looks like he's hurting. His eyes close, and before I know it, he steps down onto me. My body gives no resistance. I collapse under him, and as I fall, the bell rings, signaling the end of the fight. Foot was firm, but not as forceful as the stomp he used to break my ribs last fight. It's as if he's putting his foot down, giving an end to the fight for good. Bruce once again holds up a fist in victory, soaking in whatever cheers people were giving at home. But the silence of not only the arena, but Bruce as well, feels eerie. He holds the pose for a short moment, then steps off. He backs away for a step as I struggle to lift myself up. Need to at least be able to stand. Right foot up, and... Fuck, I can't even get my breathing steady. My muscles have gone limp. Absolutely no strength behind any of my movements. Bruce hesitates, glaring down at me, then turns to walk back to his elevator. The doors on my side open as well, and Bucky charges out. Coach! Alright, come here, big guy. His voice is gentle, as are his hands, as he reaches down under my form. With hardly any difficulty, Bucky hoists me over his shoulder and turns toward my elevator. I get a good view of Bruce's backside as he strolls to his door. He's been silent for so long, not even a taunt. He's not even trying. He didn't even have to. Hey! Bruce stops, already inside his elevator. Fuck you! You... Can't even bother to take this seriously. Is all this just nothing to you? Bruce takes a deep breath and turns to look at me. The doors close. Bucky pats my back and moves us into the elevator. Easy, Tiger. You took a beating out there. I know. I want to say. It's taking all my energy to breathe enough to keep myself conscious. My blood is racing, but I can't do anything about it. Maybe I should just rest. I'm gonna take you to the medbay. Didn't look like you took too much internal damage, but Drayden's gonna make sure. You did good out there. You fought your hardest. But Bruce didn't. He's given up. It's not a fight for him anymore. Maybe it never was. Maybe I just needed some rest. It's about 3 in the morning and I'm feeling restless. My blood has simmered down, but there's too much on my head, on my mind. It's hard to sleep after a fight like that. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Just... They just need to go to bed. They need to go to bed. Anyways, stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.